Welcome back, everyone, to episode 5. I can't believe we made it this far. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so excited. And I love it. And
chapter 21 through 25.
Chapter 21.
That was so
finally a good one. To drink a little bit more. I know. Of the juice. Also, right. I opened up this peanut butter cup. No lie. Look at how many wrappers were in there. Like, I swear I didn't even put these wrappers together. What are they doing? Trader Joe's. Get it together. Wait, 1, 2. Oh, it's just 3. You know what? It felt like more.
That's a lot still.
What a waste of paper.
Yeah.
Okay, my only cliff notes were sister squabble, and then what? Because that's what it was. It is. And then I just put the reveal of
the reveal of what?
Dun dun dun! I wonder what it could be.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, just from the beginning, it's because it ended with Elaine saying "using me." So we have to give that context of Elaine spoke from the doorway, having appeared so silently that they all twisted toward her, using me so they can track down the Dread Trove.
Yep, and
because Nesta asked how.
Said no.
Nesta did not hesitate.
Nope.
No, and I wrote that down. I said immediate defense.
Exactly.
Immediate, not a.
And I was kind of happy that Elaine said this.
I actually was too.
She said, "You do not decide what I can and cannot do, Nesta." Okay, can I just say though? All of the sisters are like this. Like, you can't decide what I do. You can't hold me up. And they all do the same thing to each other.
Like, you guys are literally your own worst enemies and your worst enemies to each other. I don't get this.
You guys make the same argument about not letting people decide stuff for you.
And it's the same things. Not letting people decide, and then it's, I don't want to be trapped. I need freedom. And
give me freedom.
You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me who to marry.
Like, no.
Yeah, again, immediately.
I mean, I get it. I get where she's coming from.
Yeah.
But every single sister is like, you can't tell me what to do.
Literally, and they're all just doing that to each other. They're like, but we're gonna. Nesta, I feel like it's more characteristic for her to tell Elaine what to do, though. Yeah. So that's fair. For someone to tell Nesta what to do, that's where I felt more like, oh, this is weird. I could actually see Nesta being more mad than Elaine. But to be fair, Elaine isn't that pissed at this, honestly. She's not mad to the point of...
Right, like...
It's more irritation I see from her.
She's having more of a voice.
Yeah.
Like, she's not becoming... I mean, she's kind of... It seems like she's growing out of, like, the sweet little innocent Nesta.
A little bit,
Elaine, I mean.
Yeah. A little bit. I can see her finally... slowly becoming something.
Bit. Yeah.
Because so far she's pretty much been nothing. Besides being engaged to the guy or whatever. Right. She really did not have much going for her. So she found her little family. She found her group. Everyone's been rallying around her. But she really hasn't been doing much. So.
Sorry, I just kept reading. And Nesta said you will not go looking for it.
Yeah.
And then Amryn said, so you look for it, girl.
Yeah. Which again... girl again, I'm telling you. That's when I first wrote it down. So even though I noticed it earlier, I was like, why, what's with this? Girl. Again, only when she talks to her. I haven't seen her say it to anyone else.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Unless it's her kind way of saying that. Because remember, Nesta always said, like, I hate that I'm not human anymore. I hate that I'm like this fairy. Maybe they had like a heart-to-heart like that. I actually wish we had more Nesta Amryn
we didn't get to see.
We didn't get anything at all. Like, people just saw them and said, oh, they're so weird. But I was like, one conversation would have been cute. It would have been cute to just see something. I feel like
their friendship would have been cool to
would have, just a little bit.
Let's see. And then Amryn was saying, like calls to like, you were made by the cauldron.
Yep.
You may track other objects made by it as well.
Yep.
And because you're made by it, you are immune to the influence and power of the trove. So you might use them, but they cannot be used upon you.
Neither of you. See, that's interesting too. They cannot be used upon you.
So like...
I didn't notice that before. I'm trying to think back.
I didn't either.
It can't be used upon you.
That's interesting. So...
Okay. So then... Okay.
Wait, so the mask can be used to raise the dead. So if Nesta ever dies...
Not like that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I know, I kind of was confused by it too,
the crown
but when
can influence anyone, even piercing through the mightiest of mental shields, but it can't do that to Nesta.
But here's the thing, but the harp can transport through other places and time even.
Yeah. So
what does that mean? But not upon her? Like, someone can't take her, only she can take herself?
Maybe.
Kind of what I'm thinking. I'm wondering. Anyways, but again, maybe they just know each other, because like also like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then in the middle, once again, it's Elaine's choice, Nesta, Farrah told her. And I said, is it? Like, you guys haven't called Nesta to come here to talk about this, to do this whole grandiose, like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was just staged. They're just like, Elaine, just pretend you're going to do it, and the Nesta will do it, obviously. Like, let's be real. Again, and a part of me wonders.
Farrah, just pretend you're pregnant.
I know, just pick a pregnancy. Just make it smell weird.
Put some, like, roses is around you.
Just a part of me was like, is this another power move? Because again, maybe this just turned out coincidental. Maybe Elaine genuinely was like, yes, I will do it. But it's like, they know Nesta's not going to let Elaine, like, no matter how much she may say she hates Elaine, obviously she won't ever do anything to, like, compromise her or anything. Again, I'm like, was this another power move on Reese? I wonder.
Right.
Or was this just coincidental? Maybe I'm overthinking it. But I was like, yeah, you guys have quite a way of making someone do something while also saying, but it's your choice.
Yeah, and then, like, even further down when she'd said, do you not remember the cauldron kidnapping you, bringing you to the heart of Hybern's camp? And then Elaine said, I do, and I remember Feyre rescuing me.
Yeah, I wrote down ouch, because it said roaring erupted in Nesta's head. I was like, again, for someone
that was probably like a jab back at Nesta when Nesta said you were part of the reason why
that's true. It was. I'm not against her saying it. I'm like, that's fair.
Yeah.
But she must have known that that's literally the worst thing you can say to the person who raised you.
You know what? You know when you think of a good comeback like 20 minutes after? Elaine probably walked away and was like,
yeah. She's like, next time I see her, I don't care how nice she is, I'm gonna say it.
Even though that didn't really fully like I feel like it wasn't. You didn't need to say that. It was not necessary. But like, that was for sure like a shoot. I should have said that. Next time I'm gonna say that.
For real. Oh my word. Ugh. But yeah, that I felt like that's definitely the worst thing you could say to someone who raised you, who took care of you forever. Because again, no offense, the one time Feyre rescues you and she's like, she's the one who rescued me, girl. This is. This made me irritated. I know that was the intention. I get it. I was like, oof. But then. Again, this was just so sad. For a heartbeat, it appeared that Elaine might say something to soften the words. So Elaine's like, oh, maybe I went too far. But Nesta cut her off, seething at the pity about to be thrown her way. Because she's like, no. Like, she still won't let them pity her. She's like, you can be mad. And she's even probably kind of pleased. She's like, oh, Elaine. Because she even says, she's like, look who decided to go claws after all. So, which again, she bit back. Maybe you'll become interesting at last, Elaine. So, yes, she bit back and she was mean. But I do wonder if there was she was hiding behind that, but also being secretly proud of. Good for you. I literally wonder if she's like mad at her. But then in her mind, it's kind of like, good for you, Elaine. Yeah. Like, if you can stand up to me, you can do more in life.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's just,
but then I like too when Elaine said on 233, like, I went into the cauldron too, and it captured me. And yet somehow all of you think is what my trauma did to you. Yeah,
that's true. I thought that was probably like the most fair point she ever made, honestly. Elaine said a lot of whatever stuff where I'm like, meh. But I was like, oh, that was the moment where I was like, okay, Elaine, you have some potential. Yeah. And I wrote down, I said, finally.
She's got some Nesta in her.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, she was raised by her. I was hoping to see some of that come out eventually. But yeah, she's standing up for herself that, again, isn't mean in a way. This is like and that's kind of what I kind of want from her character. She's not the mean one. She's also not the super brave one. But she can be gentle and strong. And I always root for characters like that because I feel like they're not written well. I feel like when I see characters, there's either the like hard, super cold, mean girl, or the oh, she's a warrior and brave and she hides but nothing scares her and she's amazing, or oh, she's soft and a whip. Like, I don't always see soft and gentleness with like bravery and strength, but I think there's so much strength in choosing like the soft word and choosing the right thing to say. And I thought this was a perfect example of soft Elaine saying the right thing, standing up for herself without doing anything mean or doing anything cold or attacking anyone. And I don't know. I just kind of had respect for her in that moment. No, I was like, okay. She could have said more. She could have, again, she did just say something mean. And she realized it right away. So it's like, I like that they're mentioning her gentleness as a power and not as a weakness. Because it's been used as, or it has been a weakness in my opinion. Yeah. And I don't know if that was Sarah's intentionality in writing it that way. Or if, again, maybe just, I think that's just what happens. Like when you see a gentle character, you just write them off as weak in your head because... Again, maybe that's intentional. Maybe that's just how you view it. So I always like moments where, like, the soft, gentle character, she's being honest and she's standing up for herself. So I was like, okay,
all right,
cool,
you do you, yeah,
got it. We're getting there.
You're getting there.
Yep.
Better.
And then Nesta asks, why can't Farrah do it? And then the big reveal.
And like when Farrah was like, no, I can. And then she looked to Reese.
Who nodded, his eyes shining.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
Can't risk it.
I do miss like those little moments between.
I do
Reese
miss
and
the little
Farrah.
one. There's a lot of cheesy ones, but it's like.
I do miss those
sweet little things,
though,
like because I can imagine like how he's been throughout the pregnancy, like what a cute.
I want to know like when they first found out.
I know.
And, like,
oh yeah, big spoiler. Oh my word, she's pregnant.
Yeah. But like I want to like know all of that.
I know, that's kind of sweet.
But then, yeah, because I'm pregnant. And then the next page, so...
No, right afterward, Cassie let out a whoop of such joy that it shattered the fraud of silence, leaping from his chair to tackle Reese.
I was going to say, what he did last for the next page, too.
I think it's, so, like this is how guys need to react. It's so cute. Like,
it's just...
they tackled each other. I can just imagine.
Best reaction.
The cute dog pile of, like...
Well, wait, and then Amryn said, congrats, girl. To Feyre.
Oh,
so maybe it's not a Nesta thing.
I still think it's weird. Like, why is it just this book?
She always
just
says
in
girl.
this book.
Yeah.
It's making me weirded out by it. I feel like there's something more to it.
In the next page, when he said, Cassian said, I knew that stupid shield wasn't just to practice something Helion taught you. And then Cassie was saying, giving Reese a smacking kiss on the cheek.
Aw, so cute. Oh, I didn't even notice that he kissed him. That's so cute.
And then Reese relented on the shield enough that Cassian could wrap his arms around her, still laughing.
Stop. Actually, I kind of skimmed through this. I feel bad. This is cute.
And then Reese dropped the shield. Feyre's scent filled the room. It was Feyre's usual scent, only something new, a smaller, softer scent, like a budding rose lay with it.
So cute.
And then Cassian said, no wonder you've been a moody bastard, Reese. I suppose you're about to learn a whole new level of overprotective.
Oh, so cute. I want a baby. That was so cute.
Cassian's reaction was just
literally
the best ever. It was so cute.
Which is so him. I love how unique it is to him. And then, again, but then you just see, like, as a softness, he's just like, how far along are you? He's like looking at Farah and just so like, oh, it's so sweet. I love how they both react in their own way, but it's so sweet. Because Cassian's definitely like golden retriever vibes. For sure. Vibes. So cute. Gosh. And I love it. Like,
you've been hiding this for 2 months?
And then so cute.
We thought you'd all guess it by now, to be honest.
No, like how she's like, idiots.
But then also, how can we guess when you got this whole shield around her?
I know. But then Cassian grinned and said to Az, we're going to be uncles.
And then Feyre, mother help this child.
For real. And then the next part, I just love it keeps going. And also, oh my word, before I move on, I have to mention, so the very top of 235, Nesta said quietly to her sister, congratulations. When I first read this, of course my first thought is, how is Nesta going to react? But in my mind, again, as I find myself akin to Nesta, I was like, what would I do? And I said, no matter what, no matter how much I hate someone, I feel like something this good, like I could never think anything evil against them. I could never, like even think about someone like you hate. Like I would never be like, exactly, it's not the child's fault. And none of your anger should go on them. Too. Exactly. Like you're also related to this child. But even if she wasn't,
you don't want to resent the child.
Exactly. But even if she wasn't and like whatever, and if her and Farah weren't related or whatever, if there was no blood relation, I feel like, again, Nesta does have a heart, and it comes out in moments like this because she would literally never say anything. And I'll come back in a bit, but it even said that it was self-preservation, perhaps, some new fey instinct of her own that had Nesta bowing her chin slightly, letting him see she meant no harm, would never hurt them. She did that to Reese. Reese's own chin dipped, and that was that. So I wrote down, I was like, finally, this is our first civil moment. And I like how they both kind of have that, like, we're gonna love this child. And I think that's so sweet. Finally, they're good to each other. Because I swear, if Reese said something in this moment of like, Nesta, I would have.
To me, like, I don't think he ever would have, though.
I don't know. He just seems so.
I think it would have depended on the situation for sure. But if it was like, it's about the child. Like Maurice is definitely mature enough. Yeah, to exactly. Let it go to that. Like, let's go. But I like that he actually gave her a little respect in this. So I'm like, this is where I'm seeing, okay, you guys can be civil, you guys can be a family, get over your whatever, your trepidations. And this was from the beginning, I was like, I knew Nesta would never say anything bad to any child, let alone, because she's always more like, oh, I'm the monster, keep the kids away from me. So I like that that's, again, another part of her heart, her gentleness of, like, congratulations. Like, she does see this as a beautiful thing. Even though she doesn't have a lot going on in her life. There's no jealousy, there's no anger. She just genuinely is just like, congrats. I loved when Cassian said, or Feyre said, thank you to be an aunt, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And Cassian was like, God's help is stronger than you. Cassian was the only person that could say that.
Oh, if anyone else said that, I would have been mad. I would have been like, you shut up.
But if anyone else said that, Nesta would have been hurt.
And I'm sure everyone noticed. She just glared at him. That's it. I'm sure everyone's like, whoa, Nesta didn't say anything back too. Although the other sad moment was after Nesta said congrats at the top still, that for she said nothing, had only been able to stand and watch all, and my word, had only been able to stand and watch them all, their joy and closeness as if she were looking in through a window. And I wrote down, like it wasn't her family. Oh, it's just so
she's been looking
sad. Like she's still happy and but she's watching this like she's not part of it. And I feel like that's also another perfect depiction of like depression. It's like when you're seeing so much good happen around you and it just feels like you're not there. It's so sad, but I just love how that was written and how she's still able to show civility and happiness to her, but she just has so much going on in that second. And like she said, every time she looks at her sister, like the self-loathing she feels, it's so sad. So sad.
And then I thought it was really sweet that Elaine was the only one that guessed it.
I know.
And I underlined it too that they said, I'll tell more when she arrives from Valahan. And I'm like, of course she wouldn't be here right now. Of course she'd be on Valahan.
Which maybe they don't know how to contact her, but it just seems...
For what? Why is she in Valahan?
I'm telling you, it just seems so interesting. I don't know, this whole side more thing is... Of course she'd be in Valahan, and like the
one time they announced the pregnancy. Whatever. I did underline when Nesta was saying, like, what choice do I have? Yeah. And Reese was like, you do have a choice. You'll always have a choice here.
Yeah.
But, like, it's like...
But do you? I know. That's just kind of how I feel. I'm like,
It's tough because, like, Reese has always been, like, you have a choice. And he's always lived up to that for everyone.
And a part of me does feel like, okay, sure, if there was literally anyone else, I'm sure he would have found a way.
No.
But,
like, that's why I think Reese probably, like, reiterated that because I don't know. He's always from the start with Feyre, with Elaine, everyone.
That's true.
You have a choice. Yeah. You can go anywhere, live anywhere. But with Nesta, it's definitely different.
It's less.
You don't
way less. I think it's way less.
Have much of a choice.
Yeah,
so it's like
it's your choices. I wonder if he like pretty
reiterated that just because he's like I want you to have a choice.
Yeah, or maybe this is the first thing that he can kind of offer her because he can't. I don't know. I guess you could say that quote unquote he hasn't been able to offer her a choice, which again I'm still iffy about that. Yeah. But maybe this was like the first time he could actually kind of say. You could do, but again, it's like they all know she won't. I think it's not really like that's why, and I like that she kind of pretty much says that.
Yeah.
You always have a choice here, and then just cold look like I'll search for it.
Yep.
Of course, I'll search for it. She said, "Of course," literally. And again, I wrote down everyone knew that. My only other line on that page was just like a couple paragraphs before that. Elaine will need time, but you could scry again. Who said that?
Wait, scry?
She said to. But see, I feel like that was them kind of taunting her again. She's like, well, Nesta, I guess Elaine's going to have to, unless you do it. Like, again, see, like, that was kind of a gig. And then Reese literally added, he's like, as soon as possible. Totally your choice, but also get on with it. So I'm like, whatever.
What does scry mean?
It's just the way they describe how she goes into the, like, trying to find the calling of the college or whatever. Okay. It's like a certain method of whatever, just to hold something or whatever. But then the one I underlined was basically he goes as quickly as possible. Nesta asked Amryn, "You're not maid?" And she said, "Not as you were." No girl there. But then she gave Nesta a wicked grin, afraid. And I just wrote down that Nesta ignored the taunt. And I just wrote down that she's still mad at her. Because when she's mad, she ignores or she's quiet, you know? When she's sad, she whatever. So I was like, oh. And she kind of accepted that because before she said, I'll never learn anything about her. So
yep.
It's too bad, but...
Next page. Feyre saying it's a boy, wanting to tell Nesta first was cute.
That was cute. Like, I did appreciate, again, that was probably the first olive branch I've seen from Feyre in a while. Like,
right.
I was like, finally.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was sweet. And then I thought when Feyre said, like, you know, I didn't know that I even really wanted a boy until, like, I saw that vision or whatever. And then when Nesta said, likely because having a sister was so horrible for you, I was like, wow, she just was, like, so quick. Like, she's already didn't care about that. And so she's so quick to just, like, that's the reason why, even though it's not. It's just, that's an insecurity. And so she's so quick to, like, say that.
Do you think Nesta would want boys too, then?
I could totally see being Nesta being a boy mom.
But I told you from the beginning that I think this makes her a girl mom. I think because her
so
being a mom to Elaine and always, like, needing to almost heal her inner child, she'd be a perfect girl mom. Like, she would raise the strongest little girls, and they would be so cute.
I know. Like, I could totally see both. I think she should have one of each, because I could see it both
of course. I think she needs both. Like, I could see her with maybe, like, honestly, my perfect depiction is, like, twin girls and, like, a little boy after. I don't know why. I think that would
be adorable.
Also, it's kind of my dream. But I'll let her have it. You
want twins?
I would kill for twins.
Okay, but honestly, like...
I literally wrote down...
2 and done, you know?
That's what I said. I said 2 for the price of 1.
Right.
1 hospital bill, 1 pregnancy, hello. Like, sure, more complications. Sure, double the work after.
But, like, might as well go through it all then.
Exactly, instead of 18 months.
Right.
Like, might as well... Yeah. But I literally wrote down, because I was going to ask you. I said, so, you want boys or girls? Do you have thoughts on this? You personally? Because I know you said you probably don't want kids for a while.
I don't even know if I want
kids. Exactly. But, like, if you did, maybe 1 or 2.
I for sure want a girl.
Yeah. Okay. Me
like,
too.
I don't know if I could just have a boy.
Oh, me neither. If I just had a boy, I would try until
like,
I had
they
a
would
girl.
just always team up on me. And
oh, that's a good point.
They would probably just be playing video games all the time, and I'd be like, "Where's my daughter?" So we can like go shopping together. You know.
I love that. No,
I think I need a girl.
I need a girl. Like when I tell you I need one, like
I know.
If I have 3 sons, I'm like, we're trying.
We're trying.
I'm like, as much
we're
as
gonna
I
end
don't.
Up with 10 kids.
Yeah, as much as I don't want like a 5th and 6th boy, I was like, we're trying until we get a girl, because and this is so weird. Literally, I don't know. Maybe if you're the same way, but almost all of my friends, I would always say, "Oh, I want a girl first," and they always say, "Really? I want boys. I want to be a boy mom."
No.
I honestly, out of like the 10 to 20 girls I've ever asked,
really,
only like one said, "Oh yeah, I guess I'd be fine with either or girls." I mean, they all say, obviously either one, but almost every girl I've asked, she goes, "Oh no, I want boys, and I want a boy first." I don't get it.
Okay, I could see wanting a boy first and then a girl to have like that like big brother,
yeah, and everyone says
protective
that
thing.
Yeah,
I can see that. However, I still just want.
Yeah.
I just want my girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm done. Like I hate saying that because literally
like,
watch me have.
Different about like the sisters.
There is I know, but for some reason all the girls I ask, they're always like, "Oh no, I want a boy." And first.
I think I would want 2 girls.
Oh, I would want, dude, I would be fine with literally like 5 girls. Everyone looks at me like I'm crazy when I say that, but I was like, are you kidding me? Like my own little girl band? And there was a name that I liked, and I kept seeing so many guys with that. Okay, it's the name Rowan, and Rowan is even someone in the Throne of Glass series.
Yeah.
But I love the name Rowan because Rowan Atkinson is Mr. Bean, which is, I know it's funny, but when I first heard his name, I was like, that's such a cool name. Yeah. But in the past year, I must have read like 4 books with a guy named Rowan, and they're always like smutty books. So they're like I don't love that name. And it's just, when names get popular, I lose my interest. Yeah, some of my favorite names in a couple years, they became popular. So I started keeping a list because I'm like, I'm going to go back to see which name, which I literally obsessed. Literally, I have like a TikTok page of names because I love names. I just love I don't know, it's so cool.
I love, like, I get so many of those Instagram reels or TikToks that like have like cute girl names, like earthy girl names.
Me too, and I love them. And I always save my favorites.
I'm like, I don't even know if I want children, but I'm like scrolling.
Like, you never know. You never know when 4 might pop out. You gotta have backups, right?
Like, I almost guarantee that we probably are gonna have some.
Sure. I can see with at least one, right? At some point in life.
But then if I have one, I don't want them to be alone. I don't want them to be an only child.
People say that, but I feel like, I don't know.
I just look at me and Vanessa's relationship, and I was like, I wouldn't want to be like an only child and not have any siblings, and like, I don't know.
But it depends. If you have one child and they grew up with my children, it's like they're gonna be besties.
That's the thing. It was like, well, if I just expose them to like a bunch of your children and expose them to like,
then they'll basically be like siblings. Because we're gonna be living in the same home, just
family, friend. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, we're gonna be living either next door or with the same house with each other, so it'll basically be like siblings.
So like, do I need to pop another one?
Exactly. No one's forcing you to have more than one. Exactly. I'll have enough for the 2 of us.
Can you sacrifice for me?
All right, if I really have to, I guess if I end up having 2 or 3 boys, again, Lord help me, college and boy with me, right? But I say
that all the time at work.
That's probably one of my only ones. Like, I've read a lot of fantasy books with like phrases, and I don't love them all. I'm like, but that one is college and boy with me alive. It's just so
I feel like Lucian said it the most.
I think
in, like,
so.
The beginning, the first book, I was like, what the heck does this even mean?
I was like, weird, and I'm like,
I get it.
But yeah, bottom line.
Well, do you have any like your top 2 names?
Oh yeah, there's one
as of right now.
As of right, well, I've had one that's been my top for a really long time, so I'm probably definitely gonna use it. And then I have some that are kind of like I've liked at the moment. So I'll give you the ones at the moment, and then my top one I'll tell you. Not on the podcast. Sorry guys, I'm a gatekeeper when it comes to this. This is the one thing I'm gonna do.
Block mine out too.
Oh, okay, the 2. Okay. So at the moment, my favorite boy name is I have so many.
Boy names are tough.
Oh, at the moment it's
I've never heard of that one before.
I've heard it once, literally once.
I've never heard that.
And I obsessed with it. But when I first read the name, I was like, that's a cool name. And then I totally forgot that was his name too, because he was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I think it's a cool name. And then my top girl name, not the one that I've had for the longest time, but my top girl name at the moment is, let's see. And this one I probably would not use. It's a little too weird, but I still think I probably would use this for a character. But July.
Like July?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I think, because I've heard the name June and May, but I was like, think of the name July. And I was listening to a song that said, I'll wait patiently for July, because they were saying this summer. And I don't know, when I heard that, I was like,
I love that name.
Such a pretty name. And then my other favorite right now, I love oldie names. It's such a pretty name.
Okay. So we're on the end.
Bottom of 237.
Yep.
The only other thing I wrote before. Oh yeah. And we're back.
That was a long tangent.
Yeah. Right. That's gonna be long to edit. I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna delete that. Anyways, but yeah, that's not what I meant. At this moment, Elaine was right. We've become so focused on how her trauma impacted us, blah, blah, blah. But then Nesta said it was directed at me, not you. And to me, I think that's the first moment she's been kind of nice to her. Like, she said congrats for the baby, but this was something just between, like, them, the sisters. And I thought that was kind of sweet. And I was like, oh, she finally kind of extended a little more of a hand. I mean, she still kind of, not like snapped at her, but they still kind of had a little moment. Yeah, it is. It's definitely not. It's more to how they used to be. Like, again, I feel like they used to be civil. They used to be civil, but they were just never really loving. Like, yeah, they never had that same sister relationship you would expect. But then, you know, she still kind of tried to relate to her. She's like, oh, I've been guilty of the same things. It was unfair for Elaine to level that truth only at you. Yes. Thank you. I'm like, I needed that said to make me feel better, because I was like, why? Again, I'm like, everyone just attacks Nesta. Everyone lets Farrah do, honestly, whatever she wants. She could probably kill someone. They'll be like, yeah. Whatever. Oh, she's the high lady. She's gonna do what she has to do. Yeah. And of course, Elaine could do no wrong. So I feel like on the other hand, Nesta almost becomes a scapegoat because people almost don't know who to be mad at. That she's just there.
Yeah, mad at somebody.
And she kind of is like, yeah, she does stuff that makes that makes them mad. So to be fair, there's that. So I kind of like that Farrah kind of realizes it and almost extends a little. Hey, maybe we are being a little hard on you. Like, she's the first person to almost say that. I guess Cassian's been saying that, showing that in his own way, but she was definitely the first person to be like, me too, I definitely haven't been perfect. Like, just that acknowledgement I thought was kind of sweet. But then it ends with them still being a little snippy, because although she was sweet, she was like, well, it's a boy, blah blah blah. Nessa just said, why not tell Elaine? Oh, I didn't realize you were keeping score. And then she was kind of annoyed. She's like, I'm not, you know, I don't need an excuse to do this. You're my sister. And I thought that was kind of, like, that was kind of sweet on Farrah's part. And I wonder if, like, just things change because she has a baby now. Because I'm sure she was like, this is my child's aunt, and maybe I should get along with her. Like, it's just a thought. Like, I like it that, again, that they acknowledge that both of them weren't really trying in the relationship. Again, I would have hated if Farrah was like, I'm trying, Nesta, and you're not doing anything. So I appreciate that she's pretty much like, and she kind of had that heart to heart with Cassie. No, we've just never been that family, those kind of sisters. Even though it's hard to, I feel like it would be so hard to talk to Cassian about that, because him and his brothers just have the best relationship.
I know, it's like, I know you can't understand
this. I know you could literally never fathom this because you're perfect, but it's hard.
That's probably why it kills Cassian so much.
Yeah, because he's like, you guys could be like us.
Yeah.
All right, anything else for that chapter?
Nope, that was it for me.
Perfect. Next chapter.
Wow, we did that chapter so fast.
That was like the fastest chapter ever. Chapter 22. Oh my god, this chapter just, dude.
Okay.
Oh my word.
What is your cliff notes?
My cliff note was, so as in Cass.
Yes,
and then,
Cass.
And then I said, debt paid.
Debt paid. Wait, this chapter?
This is the chapter. 22. And honestly,
we don't even need to say anything else.
Yeah.
Next chapter.
23. Click. This.
Oh, I love this chapter. Okay.
I don't know what we're gonna say about this, but okay.
Did you have any underlines on the first page?
First one was second paragraph. Let's see. Oh, just that sweet one when he said, if he'd had to pick between sending one of his brothers into danger or doing it himself, Cassian would always choose himself. And to me, it's like all the brothers would do that, right? Yep. Reese did that. Az would happily do that. It's like, that's what makes him so sweet. And then right after, just the rest of the paragraph, though he'd wince at every harsh word that had come out of Nesta's mouth to Elaine, he wouldn't fault the fear and love behind her decision. See, and I've been saying this all along. I love that he sees that it's fear and love. Again, he's not dismissing it. He's not like, you know, again, I sometimes feel like that's what Reese is to Farrah. Like the rose-colored glasses. Say that, actually, oh, she can do no wrong. Or, she's fine. It is what it is.
And even to Reese. Like, when Reese had to, like, say, kind of not be himself, like, around, like, other High Lords and whatnot, and Farrah was like, I see you for who you are.
Like, from the beginning.
Yeah.
Which to me was kind of too soon, but
what you're saying, you know? Like, this is not you. I get that.
I just relate to Nesta too much that whenever I see these things, it makes me be like, oh, like a breath of, like someone understands, someone's there. And I just love that it was the balance. He said fear and love. It's not, again, probably how everyone else sees her, like her anger, her annoyance, how irritating she is. Like, no, he couldn't fault the fear and love behind her decision. That was so perfectly written, that word. He could only admire that she had stepped up, if not for the good of the world, then to keep her sister safe. And I wrote this. Even if that was the only reason to do it. Because honestly, maybe she wouldn't have if it was for the better of the world. Right. You can call her selfish, you can call her this, but her world, literally since she was a child, had been Elaine. Right. And that's never going to change. So almost, like, honestly, how is Cassie not completely in love with her? She has love and loyalty, and she's such a good person, even though you could say all these different things. Right. And then I just love also Az kind of comes into this, and Az, I didn't realize until I reread this just now, I respect him the past 2 chapters, because even though Nesta was nasty to someone he's kind of liking, like he's honestly starting to like Elaine, right? Mm-hmm. When Nesta said anything about Farah, Rhys was ready to freaking hop off his horse, right? Yeah. And it's like the fact that Az almost saw her and was just like letting her say whatever she wanted to say, but then he just sweetly came after and he just said, Nesta really should do the scribe. He just gave his opinion. Yeah. He never told her anything. He never forced anything. And again, I think that's why Az is probably one of the best relationships she could have, especially that it's a guy, someone so like patient and wise like him.
And not wanting to go after her.
Exactly. Not going after her, letting her kind of play this out. He didn't yell at her. Because again, he definitely likes Elaine. And he probably felt angered that like she was being mean to her. But he was not about to snap at her. Right. He was not. Because technically he snapped at what's-his-face during the meeting because of more. Right? Yeah. So, but honestly, Ares was doing it, obviously. But again, but I think Az understands her more than the people might think he does. And just touches my heart. It's so, like, I love Az. In everything, to be fair, and he can do no wrong. Minus, like, even the torture, I'm like, I don't care. Justified. But it's just so sweet. But then, but Cassian they just have this sweet moment. Neither of them are pushing, but Cassian's just like, she isn't up for it. We don't even know her power. But then he goes, you do know.
I love that
Az sees everything. He knows everyone, honestly, the best.
Even beyond when it glows in her eyes.
You know what thought just came to my head? Okay, so they say, which this probably won't happen, but I kind of wanted to now. So they say that Rhys should become the highest of the whatever, like the king of everything. Yeah. But now I'm thinking, no, it should be Az.
Seriously?
Right? He knows everyone really well.
Everything.
He's quiet and wise and smart. Rhys set himself, he's like, I don't want to do that. And I doubt Az wants to either. But who else?
And like Az doesn't really, I guess he didn't really say if he wanted kids or not, but maybe a family is not like necessarily in his car. Like,
maybe someone, I hope he gets someone, he deserves it. Yeah. But what if that's his next role? Right. What if he becomes the like main king guy? I would kill, like who else would be good for it, you know? Right. Even Rhys, like, okay, I see it because he's already in that role, but I could see him wanting to stay there.
Family man, more of like the.
That's what I'm saying. I could see him wanting to stay in that area of like, I don't know, but again,
he would need. I don't think he'd want that higher power.
Yeah, I don't think he would, and maybe Az wouldn't either. But I could see him doing it out of duty and almost like, well, Rhys shouldn't do this. Maybe because it's like probably a big role, so he's like, maybe Rhys shouldn't do this.
Rhys has sacrificed enough.
Exactly. Oh yeah, like it's my turn. Oh my word, bro, this Book of Az better be good because. What else? Again, although there was a spoiler, again, Crescent City spoiler, although it's posted all over Instagram, whatever, was Rhys does show up in the last Crescent City, or the third, I don't know if it's the last. So I think maybe that implies, wait, but Az was in Throne of Glass. I don't know his role, but I know he was in there. I think he showed, because they talked about him showing up with one of the, like, women, I don't know who, but, so Az is in 2 of the series. If Rhys is in the 3rd, I don't know.
That'd be cool.
It might be hinting to that.
Yeah.
My writing senses are tingling.
They're tingling.
My author sense has been piqued. The interest is piqued.
I just love how Cassian is like kind of like defending Nesta. You know, like let Nesta try it her way first. If we go in and order her to do it, it'll backfire. And then let her exhaust her other options before she realizes only one is viable.
For real. And he's so sweet because he even said, he's like, last time she did this and ended badly.
Yeah, exactly.
So let her do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And trust me.
Yeah, but then, this whole page was just so sweet. But then Az stiffened. I know I helped rescue Elaine after all. Az hadn't so much as hesitated before going into the heart of Hibern's war camp.
That was sweet.
But then, Cassian's like, she'll try.
Yep.
Let her do it.
Yep, let her do it her way.
I love that.
Figure it out.
Again, so...
And then just the sweet moment. Oh, go ahead, because I was going to go to the next moment, the next thing.
Oh, that one. Sorry. I love that he's defending her, but Az isn't fighting him on it. Like, honestly, like, I think Az sees it. Az just has that aspect of, like, respect. He's like, I hear you and I respect you. And again, Rhys isn't always like that. He's not terrible or anything, but I'm saying Rhys isn't always like, I hear you and God. Sometimes he's like, you gotta do what you gotta do. But I love how Az kind of sees them and he's like, okay, but like I would let her try it that way.
Since Rhys is the High Lord, I wonder if there is that like, there's more pressure.
Yeah,
like,
there
okay,
is.
Like there comes
like
to a
it's
point
kind of
where
his head on the
you
line.
Do you, but they're like
right, and that's kind of what he said.
To a point where I gotta just tell you.
And he kind of tried to say that. He's like, well, Nesta, it is your choice. but also hurry. So, like, to be fair, I see that.
But I do think he does do a good job.
No, the way Az handles everything, because to me, I'm like, this is so mature. I mean, they're all mature, they're supposed to be, but the other boys have had their, like, little moments, and Az is just kind of, like, always the most level-headed, the sweetest, apparently the cutest. And... yeah, but he still lets Cassie... because honestly, Az probably knows this. He probably knows that if they try to make Nesta do it, she won't. But I don't know, just something about this is so sweet. And I just love how... oh, just...
and then it gets just even the more sweetness.
When they're just I love them all so much.
We're going to be uncles. And then they just talk about
Azrael's face filled with pride and joy. A boy.
I know. That's so cute.
See, I could see Az being like the forever perfect uncle.
I know.
Right?
And then like they were just like, I'm so happy for Reese. And
so
you know, just the whole thing where like, do you think you'll ever be ready for one? It doesn't matter what I want. I thought when Azrael said that, it doesn't matter what I want. Like, it's like, I don't know, it's almost like he's not getting his hopes up.
Yeah.
And he's like letting, if he ever does have somebody come in his life.
Well, right before he says, or Cass says, will he ever be ready to confess to more what's in your heart?
I know.
Honestly, I hate more in times like this.
I just want her to tell him, like, he does not deserve
I don't know. Again, he's so smart. He's so wise. Why? Out of all people, why would she hide it from him?
Liking women, really? You take that long?
Mm-hmm. Like out of all people.
Because of that.
You're telling me, like, I understand not telling everyone, but you're telling me, you told Fair, but you couldn't tell Az, who you've known. I'm sorry, you've known Fair how long?
Yeah.
Several years, not even, and she's known Cass and Az and Reese for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Literally never tell a soul.
Literally, like if you said it would hurt me if you told anyone, he'd be like, I'd rather die before I hurt you.
Reese and Cassian too.
Yeah,
like,
it's true. But I feel like Az especially.
Yeah.
So it's like a part of me is okay. She could play the whole card of I don't want to hurt him, but this is just cruel. Like I'm sorry,
I do not like that at all.
Hate it. But
maybe if it was something a little bit more like, okay, I understand why.
Exactly. Yeah, if there was another factor in it, I'd be more forgiving.
Really, you just like women.
And you couldn't tell the person you've known for forever who would definitely keep your secret.
I get not wanting like the world to know because like that's
right, especially the people who like hurt you and everything.
Right, like it's risky. I get that.
Uh-huh.
But like, come on.
Mm-hmm. Really? And it's like how much sadder would it be if he found out? Like, what if she gets a mating bond with someone and asks, like, imagine how heartbreaking that's going to be to him.
He deserves so much better.
Not more. So annoying. But yeah, I love that they had this moment. And he said, it doesn't matter what I want. Distant words, one that prevented Cassian from prying further. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I feel like that's also a deep kind of... see, now I'm kind of going back to the whole Elaine thing. Because if Az and Elaine are something, and she's like a seer, and she could see his future, and I don't know. Mm-hmm. A lot that could happen there.
Yeah, and even when... So he was still happy to be Moore's buffer with Azrael, but there had been a change lately in both of them. Moore no longer sat beside Cassie and draped himself.
Yes, oh my word,
and Azrael, those longing glances towards her had become few and far between, as if he'd given up.
Yeah, I noticed that. So when he first mentioned that, at first with Moore and Az, I was like, okay, maybe this is Moore's way of pushing him away. Because again, she's done some sleazy things of like taking guys to bed, knowing Az sees. But when he mentioned that she hasn't been the same around Cass too, that was kind of like another... writer tingle sensation. I was like, wait, she looks like she's retreating from the inner circle, technically, right? Like, okay, she kind of got close to Farah, but now with the whole Valahan thing, I feel like Sarah's kind of planting something of her. That's what I'm saying. I keep seeing the theories of what if Moore turns bad. I don't know. I'm kind of seeing it. I'm not saying it's exactly what's gonna happen, but little details like this make me think, wow, why would he say it that way? Exactly. Because again, it wasn't just her and Az. If he just said Az, okay, but he said
in both of them.
Moore no longer sat beside Cassie and draped over him and Az.
And then I just love the and Az asked, do you want a child? And then like
immediately he thinks about.
Of course I want children.
I know, but even before that, immediately he goes. Cassian couldn't stop the thought that flashed of him and Nesta against a wall.
I know.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I thought he was gonna say something sweet. Never mind. I was like, he's gonna imagine her with the baby, and I was like, oh.
Okay, next.
Moving on.
Okay, but I just love this line when he says, "Turn a blind eye, chaperone."
That's definitely one of the best lines in the book, but I never see it anywhere. I was like, that's what.
Love that. I love that. Love it so much.
That was definitely my favorite. Oh man. Okay. Let's see. What to say? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I thought it was really kind of sweet And okay, this reminded me of Violet and Zayden even.
Oh, yes.
When he was like, I've never seen you with your hair down.
Oh my word, that was my favorite. Yeah. To me, I don't know, little things like that, just little details.
Yeah. And then he was like, it's
squeal worthy. So cute. Okay.
It's just beautiful.
It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, just one simple word. Beautiful.
And then you already know the line.
Oh man.
I'm here to settle the debt between us. We have unfinished business. Yep.
I just love this chapter. Okay. Oh yeah, she's like, I'm not gonna give it to him. She goes, oh, male pride is a thing of wonder. When he didn't respond, she threw another wall against his way. Why are you even here? You made it clear enough that last night was a mistake. He was having none of it. I love that line.
I know.
I never said that.
Yeah, I literally never said that.
So good. But then she's still not giving it to him, even though her body's saying one thing, but her mouth is saying another. She's like, you didn't need to. I saw it in your eyes. His gaze snapped to hers. Oh my God. I can't. I'm literally blushing. I love this.
The only mistake. And then another, the only mistake. You know? ...
Yes, if you know, you know.
Literally.
Oh man. The amount of times. This has been underlined 3 times. This is 3 different pen marks. I never see, again, we'll get to the phrase that I say, I tell you that I see everywhere on social media when it comes to Cass. But he had so many good, I'm sorry, Cass is a man. Until we get a book for Az, when I read this, I was like, I can't even think about Reese. Could not care less. I feel like nothing Reese did was
I want
not
to
like this.
Go back and reread all of like Reese and Ferris stuff now. Like after I see this,
I reread one.
Kind of just comparing it.
I reread chapter 55 because everyone again they're like, oh, that's
like,
the chapter.
Did Sarah's just like writing kind of like get better, or was that like on purpose? Like,
I know,
Cassie,
I wonder. You know? But I told you before.
Like, did she just get more confident in like? Did Sarah
maybe
get
just,
more confident?
Yeah, just perfected the craft.
You know, like maybe
I thought that
when she was first writing Reese and Farrah, it was kind of a little bit more cringier, and like she was kind of like easing her way into it. And then this book, she's like,
Well, I've heard a couple things. Someone else said that Farrah was also younger. She was like 19, and so she started that the first couple romantic scenes were more mellow, which was nice because I also love how realistic that is. Because now that
that's so true.
Now that I'm a little more experienced in reading, sometimes it's just like wham bam, thank you, ma'am. I'm like,
first time too.
This person's like 20, and it's always like I've only done it once or twice. I was like, okay, and you're telling me
no, seriously.
Anyways, so I did like that aspect, but I also just get reminded of the fact that she like Sarah has said, she related to Nesta more. Yeah. So I also feel like the vulnerability and like the emotional aspect of this makes this better. That maybe it is experience and
between Cassian and Nesta,
there is.
So
I'm
sure
the more tension
more to work with.
And again, I think grumpy girl, sunshine guy is one of my favorite tropes. Yeah, always will be. It. Next to like enemies to lovers. Yeah. Oh, amazing.
The next thing that I underlined was like the bottom of 244.
Yes.
Did you have anything in between that?
Between that, no, I went from ... to this day's out of training.
Okay.
To Nesta, to the line after that.
Oh, wait, this stays out of training on 245?
244. They say it again. So 244 at the bottom.
Okay. So I love the line at the bottom when she said her head emptied out and there was only him and her in the space between them.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah. Her head just
nothing like an empty head. I did right before. I just said, I don't know. The whole paragraph before that.
Oh, no, I love that.
A note of pleading had entered his voice. He was trembling, the door behind him rattling with the force of his deteriorating self-control.
That's so funny. But then... So on the next page, when they say this stays out of training and everything else, right?
Right? Yeah.
And then when it says something shifted in his expression, but he said...
I can't wait for you to keep reading because it always says that. Whenever she mentions something,
like it's
his expression changes. And he just wears his heart on his sleeve, and I think that's the sweetest thing, but the saddest.
But also probably Nessa said that because... If she felt saw the look on his face, this is a mistake.
Oh, that would have.
It's a mistake. She was probably just like being like, "Okay, but it's just this."
Yeah. I was thinking it was more like if she saw any emotion, like she would have completely fallen for him. Yeah. Because right now she definitely has love for him, but I don't think she's completely fallen in love. And I think if she got that much emotion from him, she couldn't back out. Right? She'd feel more committed. Because again, they started so strong that it's not like they could date and do like a fling. Like no. They're in deep, no pun intended, and they have to just, so I think this is her way of having a little more of the control of,
a little bit more control.
They emotionally went through a lot, but they physically haven't been through much, that to date and to do anything like this is too out of the ordinary for them. But it's also just hard for her because it's not like she's had any good, literally at this point, she's had no good relationships with men or people in general. So part of her is probably like, again, she's fearing of people leaving her. She fears people dying. And for Cassian to become that person for her and to potentially do both, to die and leave her, it's like terrible. And again, right after, again, breaks my heart, even though like she just wants to have this moment with him and everything, but this was sure to be a mistake, sure to be something she paid for, suffered for. If I give myself a little bit of enjoyment with someone like him, I know I'm going to pay for it, but she couldn't bring herself to deny him. First of all, she couldn't bring herself to deny him, but then second of all, deny herself. She still always puts people first. No matter how selfish people think she is, it's like her first thought was still him and then her. It was never, I just can't stop myself. It's, yes, he's handsome. I'm not gonna stop him, but I myself too, you know.
Anyways, so the rest
and then like that art, and then like that art I showed you. That's exactly how I pictured it. Like, beautiful. Okay. Beautiful. Just say dot dot dot. The only part I underlined at the bottom of 245 was, even though they started in this like heated passion, it was tender, coaxing.
Oh yeah. Yep.
He a gentle kiss to her shoulder. I know. I'm like blushing. I love this so much. I just felt like out of all the books, this was the first. I don't know. It hit different. I don't know how else to say it. It hits different.
I didn't have any other underlines, and I think it's because I was too good to do it.
Oh, I got.
I need you to.
I got a bunch of
underlines. You know, carry this one.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Love to be. I can carry, though I love to be carried. You know, so that's fine. Anyways, my only. I don't know if I'll leave this in, but first of all, I don't even know where to start. My first thing was, this part was just so cute. So, right here, Cassian let out a dark laugh. I don't know, it just reminded me because she kind of had a little like laugh at him earlier, and so he had this. Oh, just so good. Anyways, and then below that he says, "I owe you a debt." So he's like, "No, this isn't. This isn't a two-way streak right now." So he doesn't let it get too far because he's like, we're getting even. And a part of me thinks that's almost sweet and like, oh, but once we do take that step in the future, it'll be, I don't know, what's the word?
Both.
Yeah, it'll be equal, I guess? Yeah, okay, that's the word. Yeah, equal, together. Oh, yeah, let me take a little sip.
This calls for the wine.
The juice, Justine. So we call it we call it that just as a joke.
Yeah, LOL.
Yeah, it's just an inside joke.
Let's see.
Oh, another cute description was gathered around her like an iridescent mist.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how I would describe it, but
right.
Because I think about writing these things. I don't know if I'll ever write these things.
Yeah,
maybe I have. But I try to like make it not sound super
kind of realistic too, like
right.
You want to make it sound realistic.
Exactly. Like I don't want it to be, and of course it's always like perfect, and no one ever does anything wrong. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Yeah, no one had ever made her feel that.
I know. And then like in the bottom too, when he was like, "We are even now."
My word.
We are even now.
You know, she tried. He was like, "No.
I loved that. I didn't want him to, but I loved that.
Me too. It's like, that tension. Like Sarah gave us a little, and she was like, "No, I'm gonna read back." Oh.
And then is it the next chapter when Az walked in? Oh my God. I was like, "You ass."
Like, they could have had a hot training session. All right, to the next chapter. Chapter 23. Ooh,
that was pretty good.
All right, my summary is just so silly. So it's training. Nesta has thoughts.
Yep.
Boys fight. More Trove, and then.
Boys fight.
Okay. Yeah, and then Trove, and the next is the sign up.
Oh,
sign up sheet.
Yeah.
And then. Yeah.
Okay.
So first page.
Okay, just love the first line.
Oh, I know. Oh, my word.
Like from the start, love that line.
Oof.
Just religious experience, you know. And then.
Pure will and pride made him back off the bed. Next page. We're just gonna. Yeah. Nothing much on that page. I mean, let's just.
We did not like that page at all.
Oh yeah, he's just waiting for her.
Emerge, no hint of blush.
Wait, that first. Okay. Nesta emerged into the training pit.
Yep.
Asriel
walked behind.
Yep. Yeah, that's why he says like no hint of blush. And at first he was almost like, wait, and then he's like, Az, and he's like,
Yep.
Az knew.
Like, morning Az, and then Nest, how did you sleep? Like a babe.
And then right after that, he says, it was to be a game then. Again, he's still letting her set the pace. And to me, it's like, yeah, obviously she's doing it because Az is there.
Cassian threw her a grin that declared he was in.
So cute. I just love him so much. He literally is the kind of guy where he's like, I'll do anything. Oh, Cass, you can do no wrong. But see, I love that he's playing with her, but she still has the power.
And then Az is like, I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
So cute. I just love, like, honestly, the three of them as like a friend group.
Yeah,
it's so cute. I'm obsessed with it.
Az hates hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah,
she doesn't want a face full of someone's armpit sweat, which agreed.
Yeah, I literally wrote that. I was like, oh, what a distinguished gentleman. I was like, Az is just a cute little boy at heart. He's like, I don't want no nasty fit.
You want that.
So cute. He's like, good kill.
And then they're training.
Oh, my word. Before that. So, we're halfway through the page. More reasons why I love Az. And again, this was kind of what I was thinking as I was reading, but this was kind of described perfectly. It said, maybe that was why Az had never said a bad word about Nesta, never seemed inclined to start a fight with her. She saw him and was not afraid of him. There weren't many people who fit that bill.
That's right.
That's true. Yes, not only was Nesta not afraid of anyone, but to me, like, that's what softened my heart more to Az. And I think that's why, honestly, same thing. I think he loves her as a friend. I think he actually sees someone who isn't scared of her. But same thing. He's like, oh, I bet she thinks everyone's scared of her. And he's like, I'm not scared of her either. And that was such a touching thing to me. And again, that's why, he never attacked her. Even though she said bad things to him and others, he never said, like, Nesta, stop. Nesta, don't do this. Because in his mind, probably maybe not the first person ever, but the first human for sure, and the first person in a while that wasn't scared of him. And to me, that's so sweet. That touches my heart because even though he knows like this crazy like being that he is, he's probably like, oh, someone's not scared of me. That's just so sweet to me. Oh.
I know, that's really sweet.
I just love their relationship. Let's see.
I never tabbed. You keep going.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I just realized I never tabbed the good part.
Yeah, I mean the many good part, right? Just in literary metaphors are.
I need to make sure that's tabbed.
Oh yeah, okay. Anyways, 252.
Yep, 252. And let's see.
Yeah, they're kind of about to start sparring soon. They're just kind of playing along and.
Oh yeah, Az has been exercising at night.
Oh, so sad. He said can't sleep, and he just said something like that. So sad. I just need to know everything about Az.
Yeah, Cassian let it drop, knowing Az would have told him already if he wanted to share what has been hounding at him enough to exercise at night.
So sad. I feel like him and Esther probably share that too. Like they understand how the darkness enraptures them. This and this. Did I send you that Instagram where it's like a girl crying and it was like. Me knowing that there's gonna be another book of Az, but that means he's gonna find a mate. And it's not me.
What if it is you though? You don't know.
It could be.
You don't know.
Nice. Okay. Fingers crossed. Sarah gets a character named Abigail because I never read books with the name Abigail, so I'll be waiting. Sarah.
I've never seen a Justine, so
I've seen a couple Justines.
Have you really?
Yes. That's why I thought it was so cute. I was like, oh. Well, you have a cute name. I feel like my name's so.
I used to hate my name.
I used to hate my name too.
But.
I've been thinking about going back to my Russian name.
Which is?
Abigail.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Wait, say it again.
Abigail.
Mm-hmm. That's really pretty.
Yeah, I used to hate it.
Yeah. You used to hate that?
I used to hate that. Well, I used to hate all my names because it was in the Russian community, it was unique. They're like, wow, what a pretty name. But then there's so many American girls named Abby. And I was like, oh, I'm so basic. And I was a weird kid. I wanted like a weird name. I was like, no, I want to be called, like a cool name. Yeah, I want to be called like Dakota. And I was like, thank God my mom was not weird like me. Okay. Anyways.
Let's see. And then, so they're just, she has Az and Cassian, like sparring against each other. And then she was like, is this really all it is?
No, that's really how I saw it. I was like, when they're both and he says like, we both know each other's moves, blah, blah, blah. But they're so good that I can just imagine them just kind of ducking each other. Around, and she's like, I expected more.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I wrote, this is so cute, but boring because they just know each other so well.
Exactly.
And then I think the next page is where it gets cute. Yeah. Oh my word. Okay, he quickly mentioned, Az had a vicious competitive streak. It wasn't boastful and arrogant the way Cassian knew he himself was prone to be. So again, it shows a little contrast. So Cassian is more boastful and arrogant. He's more out there, right? He's more loud and public. And he said, but it wasn't possessive and terrifying like Amren's. So Amren's more possessive, but like she will like show her like meanness if she needs to. No, it was quiet and cruel and utterly lethal. And again, that's why I think Az is so fascinating. because his silence could mean anything, right? You kind of see other people's silence. Like Nesta's silence is anger or just indifference. Cassian's silence is, I don't know, like confusion, uncertainty. But it could be anything, right? Like his silence, like it says cruel and quiet, but it could also be anything.
Yep. And then just like down a little farther, circled again, but as snapped his head towards Nesta, eyes wide.
Cassian looked hard, leaping into it. Like he was like, oh my God, no. That was so, like, sneaky little guy. Like, he knew. But my heart, I'm like, the fact that all he had to do was a look and Cassian was right. Again, the guys who would crawl to their women, dying to just be with her again. Oh,
he will literally lose the fight.
He literally was like ready. He was like, no problem. He's like, what? Show me. Like his heart leaped into his
the one
throat.
Card that would get Cassian to remove his focus from an opponent.
See, again, Az just knows everyone.
It happened before against Hybrid.
Yes. This whole paragraph is highlighted. Go for it.
Yeah. Nesta had screamed his name even in the midst of the battlefield. He'd abandoned his soldiers and rushed for her, not caring about anything other than reaching her, saving her.
See, every time I rethink that, I was like, they literally screamed, like she literally screamed at the top of her lungs just for him. Not like, I don't know, she saved her life, he saved her life, or she saved his life, he saved hers. They just had such a history, and it's so beautiful, and they both didn't forget that. And then top of the next page, only Nesta had saved him, and she had screamed his name to get him out of the cauldron's range. His soldiers had been blasted apart a moment later, and when he looked at her face, he'd understood something that the past year and a half had shredded apart and turned cold.
You're drooling,
I know.
Oh
my God. So cute.
If there was anything enticing, it was seeing Azriel put your face.
And he says, keep telling yourself that, Nest.
I love that he doesn't get butthurt by her words.
Literally, because he knows which are like deflection and which he actually means.
Right. So then
now get boring again.
Is talking,
so cute.
Talking about the Dread Trove with Gwen.
Yes. So the artifacts again. She just asks her about it, see if she knows it.
Okay. The second paragraph, is that what you're laughing at?
The third paragraph.
What, the third? Okay, wait, I have the second paragraph.
Oh, honestly, just the whole page. Okay, it starts there.
Yep. Something about, like, wondering what it would be like between the two male bodies and then burn all the lethal attention on worshipping her. And then Elaine would faint to hear such thoughts.
Moving on.
Okay, do you have anything else on this?
Oh, yeah, the next page, they just kind of talk about training. But then at the bottom, she goes, oh, is it Cassian? Okay. But she says, he's a good and honorable male. It's just cute.
I know he is.
She's like, she's like, that's my good and honorable male. Thing I wrote down.
Well, she went down the stairs, right?
Yeah, it's the only thing I did. It said, but this time, it says, Nesta began the descent slower this time, contemplating each placement of her foot. Let each step downward be a thought, a piece of one of Amren's puzzles that she sifted through. I thought this was the first time it was more intentional. So we've been kind of seeing her build up to this point, but now she's doing it, again, I think more for actually her mind and herself. Not to distract herself, not to get away from it, but back to, and I'm surprised she's even thinking about Amren right now, because she doesn't like her at all right now, or she thinks she doesn't like her, whatever. So I like that she's going a little bit back to herself, pre-war, all of this. It's a small thing, but it's intentional. She's intentionally going down these steps, and she's actually thinking through it and not trying to get away from something. She's just trying it.
It's more intentional now.
Yeah, and even if she doesn't make it far, I don't even think she cares. It just says down she went.
She went 2,000 though.
Yeah, step to step. Nessa was on step 2,000, and then she halted. She knew what she had to do. So see, she did it to think. She did it to whatever.
That's what I mean. I think it's to clear her head now.
Yeah, I feel like before it wasn't though. Before it was to
anger.
Yeah,
I want wine.
Yeah,
I want to drink.
Like anywhere but here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's like, let me just try this and.
Yep.
We're getting there.
Chapter 24. That was
my favorite yet.
See, I think we just needed to drink more. I think we put too much in it.
Yeah. I just had so much juice upstairs that I had to put it somewhere. Okay, my only thing was the library moment.
You're so much more almost done.
Well, I got really thirsty.
I got thirsty.
This is just the library moment. Okay. So I didn't have much on most of the pages.
I didn't have much of this either.
Yeah.
I liked the part where this is when Nesta was training in the library, and so then Cassian came down here, and then Clotho was like, on page 261, Clotho was like, yes, I give you permission to enter. Nesta's on level 5. Perhaps you shall manage to get through to her. You do know this is Nesta. She does nothing unless she wishes to, and she's the least likely to listen to me.
She has a will. So yeah, just like after that, I don't think I underlined, but she has a will of iron, of steel. He smiled.
Yes.
And then I like that she called him Lord Cassian. I was like, oh, cute. I haven't heard anyone call him that. It's adorable. I think the only part I did on the page before was Cassian's brows rose. She's practicing down there. I thought that was kind of cute. He's like, he like did. He's like, really? Her here?
Yeah.
Right now?
She's doing this.
That was cute.
And then on the next one, I just thought it was cute. Like, and I mean, it's more on the next page, but like how he started like teaching her, like not being like, don't practice down here. Like he was teaching her.
He was like, you messed that up.
Your elbow. On the next page, when he was like, your right hook was perfect this morning, and she was like, yes, but not when I watched you in the stacks. I figured you'd correct me. And then shock and delight slammed into him. She moved out of the stacks.
Shocking delight.
Yes. She moved out of the stacks before she let him do so into plain view so they would all see him teaching her.
Yep.
I was like, Nesta, that is brilliant.
So sneaky.
And then Cassie was like crafty archer on.
I know. So cute. So adorable. This moment was literally the cutest. Although, I do love this moment. It's so cute. It's but really in my head, it's like, what are these exercises? Like, is she throwing punches? Like, is she throwing punches to books? And they're like, the girl's punching books again. Can someone call the Lord?
Someone please get Cassie
like, can we get this girl to stop, like, twirling her leg? Like, I literally in my head was trying to imagine. I'm like, are these, like, Tai Chi poses? Or are these kind of, because they're going, smacking a book. She's like, please stop hurting our journals. Thank you. That would be
and then it was really sweet when Cassian was, well, I guess not, he didn't say this, but that there was touching, but it was always with her permission and always professional. Needed to see how he never mocked her, only gently corrected her, and needed to see what he taught her, hear him say precisely what she could do with all those punches and kicking combinations.
No, to me it was, she wanted them to see that.
I was like, Nesta, that is brilliant.
No, I wrote Smarty Pantsy. Yes. I was like, not only is she showing them that he can train, to me it was the touching. I feel like that was the most,
that's
whatever.
Huge.
Like, he never did it without permission, or he never, I'm sure he never even like hovered over her or whatever. But yeah, it was also not Illyrian. And I'm sure, even though they probably know he's good, they're probably like, well, he's Illyrian, like, who knows? And seeing that, so cute, so sweet. Such an adorable moment. And then middle of page 266, I put, okay, so she comes home and there's a book on her desk. She's like, well, that's weird. You can take this back. But then I just love that she goes, Nesta peered at the manuscript full of Cassian's scent as if he'd read it 1,000 times.
Aww.
He'd left it for her. And then this, again, deemed her worthy of whatever lay inside.
Yes.
That feeling of worth.
Yes.
It's back.
Really cute.
She feels it. No darkness. We haven't heard about darkness in a while.
No, it's been a while.
So sweet. I'm so happy for her. For a while. I just want to cry for this non-existent person because my heart is so full.
Yes.
But the fact that she like was picking up on his scent, is that another mating thing? Because they pick up on more stuff about stuff, and this was the first time she noticed his scent. Other times she hasn't really said anything about it. So, so she read it, and then. Yeah, I wrote no darkness on the next break because it said sleep was a long time coming. Yeah. And again, it didn't feel like normal sleep. This is probably the first time where she was like, oh my word, I can actually like rest. Like actual rest, not just sleep. And the next moment is she has people signed up for
Gwen!
I know. It's so cute. I didn't even do anything, but I was like, of course it would be Gwen. And of course that would make her the most happy. Had it been anyone else, it wouldn't have been the same.
Exactly.
The most happy.
Oh my gosh, round part 2, we did it.
We made it. That's the perfect step. Okay, my only question. Do you any predictions right now?
Oh gosh.
Any theories, any predictions? Where's your head at now that you've officially
Where is my head at?
I wouldn't even call this halfway. I was gonna say halfway, but look at this.
We're not even halfway. It's kind of sad. In my Goodreads, I like put the page number that I'm on.
Oh, you did?
Like
cool.
30%.
I know, you're like, oh, okay.
So at first, like, I didn't have my book with me, and I didn't know what page I was on, so I just did like percentage, and I just like put like, I don't know, like 30% or whatever. But like that was like a few weeks ago. Now I'm on 30%. I'm like, dang it.
What do you think the next like Nesta Cassian step is? Or how soon? Like, what do you think is it gonna be like?
Well, I think it's gonna happen soon.
Okay.
Maybe something bad happens when she like goes to try to find the Dread Trove.
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Maybe Cassian like is there somehow and helps her somehow. You know. That's what I got for them so far.
Okay. I guess what do you think, like, training wise, again, is gonna happen? Even with like her and Gwen, I guess.
I feel like once Gwen starts doing it, I feel like other priestesses are gonna come. Mm-hmm. I also think that she's gonna get Emery to come at some point too. Mm-hmm. I know she asked her, mm-hmm. and she said no, but I think she's gonna get her to come at some point. Maybe she'll get Elaine to come. Maybe like her and Elaine's relationship will kind of like. I really hope that her and the sisters' relationship just kind of like mellow out a little bit, you know? Just kind of like, especially with the baby coming, maybe it'll just be kind of like, and then Nesta's like just becoming better, and so maybe that'll just kind of ease their tension. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Lucian, I haven't heard about him in forever. And
what do you think's happening with him?
He's tough because
I know. It really, and he's like an anything character, anything card.
He's supposed to be like their emissary?
Yes, I can't remember. Maybe.
But like he's just like living with Basta now, and that kind of freaks me out. And I don't know. Mm-hmm. And Jurian, living with Jurian, like I don't think he'll go down a bad path. Mm-hmm. Hopefully. Mm-hmm. What do you think? But I don't see Elaine and Lucian getting together anytime soon.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't see that happening anytime soon either. And then, any thoughts on Farah and anything there in her entire life?
Well, is she gonna have the baby by the time it's done?
Well, do you want me to tell you?
Sure.
Well, like in this book, baby will come.
Baby will come. I just didn't know.
Or I'll say.
I didn't know.
I'll say it this way. I'll say there's a delivery.
There's a delivery. I just didn't know like how. Like, because I know it's 10 months, but I didn't know like how long this book takes place. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So. That leads me to believe that something sad is going to happen during delivery. And I don't think Reese is going to take that very well. Or anybody will take that very well. I just want to go read it.
Do it. I mean, we're almost done with this. Yeah. Anyways, there's so much. Some points you made, really good points. Mm-hmm. And there's just still so much to get through, and I love that. Like, again, I realize where we are, and I still feel like I was like, we've done so much. Mm-hmm. But so much happens. But not in a dragged out way, because I feel like all the other books, I think there's maybe one lull part in here that's like a couple chapters, but it's so good. And I know I wanted to find you a teaser, but there's nothing that's like a teaser without a spoiler. And also I kind of read through these pretty fast, so I didn't really say anything. I'm trying to go to like.
It's always whenever I'm at the end of the book, I always read so fast, and I'm like, just need to slow down. Like I know you're ready to be done with it, like because you want to know the ending of it.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
But I think at the end, I go way too fast.
That's why I'm so happy I'm rereading this, because right here, like literally a lot of this is not underlined. Some of it is. Some pages are very underlined, but I found one teaser I might give you, but let me see. There's two parts. Okay, honestly, this whole book is my favorite, right? But there are two parts that made me the most emotional, and like I actually cried. Not just like emotional, like
cried.
Full blown tears. Yeah. I was literally crying. It's amazing.
I usually, whenever I get past like a really really good chapter, I'll like stand up and like run around my apartment.
Oh my word!
Like squealing.
It's the squealing, the feet kicking, honestly, out of all the books, this was the most squeal worthy feet. Like, yeah. I'm literally thinking about it right now, and I'm just like, I just want to lose it. There's so many good parts, but there's one line, page 337. So that's like what, halfway. He just, Cassian, he just said, "I didn't hurt you, did I?"
So they like.
Leave it there. I'm just gonna.
Maybe Elaine is looking for the Dread Trove, and maybe Cassian is defending somebody and accidentally nicks Elaine. And
I just thought of more. This book is just filled with good moments.
Well, it's so hard when we do these podcasts now because I don't have enough time to read them.
Oh, it's okay. You'll have time.
I'm not doing anything after work tomorrow, so I'm just gonna read.
Amazing. But see, I love that if we're lonely, we can just listen to the podcast and hear each other.
Seriously.
Anyways, all right, everyone, thank you for listening. Yes, I'm still recording. I'm at 1 hour and 30. It's gonna get cut down a little, but we made it this far.
For 5 chapters.
4. I just counted.
4 chapters.
Because we did 20, so 21.
But like we have to stop at the.
We had to. That was perfect. I did not want to go on. Stopping. So that was. Anyways,
I'm loving it so far though.
I'm loving it too. I hope everyone else loves it. For the 3 people that are listening, shout out to you guys. I think it's like my cousin and my mom, and your husband or your fiance.
Yeah,
almost there. Yeah. So. What were you saying?
I was like, oh, your mom's listening to it.
Yes. Hi, Mom. Hi, this is Justine. I don't think you've met.
I hear you make really good sourdough bread. Oh, it of a Mazda RX-7. I mean, come on.
While we're on the topic, I hear a lot of our listeners. I hear our listeners are big sourdough and Mazda fans.
RX-7s.
RX-7s
I mean,
fans.
And whoever owns Subaru Wilderness cars?
Yeah. Vehicles?
I think there's another word in between that, but I'm just going to say Subaru
Automobiles?
Wilderness. I'm pretty sure there's another thing, but whoever owns a Subaru Wilderness is like the coolest person ever.
Lily, shout out to everyone who owns that.
Yeah.
If you do, message us and we'll send you a free selfie.
Yep.
Courtesy
we'll give you
of
big hug.
A major hug. One of us will at least.
Yeah. One of us will, and we'll just decide
who of us will hug you. So
whoever
if you're the special winner, please.
Mm-hmm. And thank you so much for listening to us.
Yes.
And please stop being mean to us and don't ever make fun of us.
This is not directed to one person. This is just an audience as a whole.
But I swear, if you ever meet me ever again, I'm gonna come after you.
Okay.
Anyways, thank you all.
This was supposed to be a cute ending. Thank you, everyone. Please stay tuned for next week. I don't know. Oh wait, I might be posting this or the one before on my brother's birthday. Happy birthday, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt you're listening to this,
happy birthday, Sam. I actually never knew your brother's name.
Happy birthday.
That's exciting.
Oh, everyone say hi to Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam. Happy birthday. If this is the wrong week, then too bad. You always forget my birthday. Yeah. The man never knows my birthday. So the fact that I have the month right is impressive.
Yeah.
Anyways, I guess we'll see you all next week. Cheers to the end of another podcast.
Okay, come on. That was beautiful.